Welcome back to episode 21 of Matt Chat. I'm your host, Coach Cala. And if you're just tuning in, forgive me. I had technical difficulties with my last video. Been a long day for me. I teach, coach lacrosse, do a lot. I'm also the New Haven wrestling coach, where we have the best pizza and the best athletes. So thank you again to all my loyal fans out there that always tune in and subscribe. Some days I don't think YouTube's always the best, but you all still comment on them, so it really means a lot to me. And that makes me very happy. So we're gonna get right into it. Probably gonna be a shorter video. I just want to talk my thoughts about the U.S. Open, specifically for the men's freestyle division. My favorite division, I think most people's. But shout out to all the wrestlers that have been wrestling over the last 2 days. I am going to do my best to live stream tomorrow, but I have teaching and lacrosse all day tomorrow. And like somebody commented today, just quit my jobs. Unfortunately, I can't until I'm a full-time paid YouTuber. No, I probably wouldn't even then anyway because I love what I do. But let's get right into it. I'm going to share my screen and look at the brackets. All right, so senior men's freestyle, probably the most similar style to folk style. But let's talk about who's everyone's predictions for the 57 kilogram weight class. Finals picks. If you know me, I'm a huge Spencer Lee fan. I do love Iowa wrestling. I like Penn State better, but I think this is clear for this bracket. It's going to be Spencer Lee versus Luke Lodahl, the returning national champ versus three-time NCAA champ. Everybody knows who Spencer Lee is, one of the best ever to do it. Olympic silver medalist. He is not losing another match. He's had a few rough patches in the past, but I think he's still way too good for Luke Lodahl, even though I do think Luke's a very good wrestler. So I got Spencer Lee winning over Luke Lodahl just by points, nothing crazy. I think Liam Cronin's a great wrestler. Sheldon Seymour's a beast. Anthony Knox didn't wrestle this year. He transferred to Rutgers. He has 4 years left. I think he's going to be an All-American or NCAA title contender next year. Eric Barnett's a beast. Max Gallagher, Antonio Mills. And somebody not listed here is Vincent Robinson. So we're potentially going to have 3 national champions in one weight class wrestling, but I truly believe Spencer Lee versus Lightning Luke will be the finals. And I think Spencer will probably bonus him in one of the matches, but besides that, it's going to be a closer match. Luke is getting really good, but I still think Spencer Lee's going to win this year and 2027, 2028, and retire in 2028 and call it a career. So, yeah, not too much to talk about at 57. Spencer Lee, you got to win, man. You're the best out there. Let's go. Lock in. No more upsets for you. You got upset at RAF, the second one ever, and you haven't showed up again. We need you back on RAF. We need you back wrestling. We love watching you. Come on, Spencer Lee. Let's go. Moving on to 61. This is where we can talk a little bit more, people, okay? Spencer Lee is way too good. I think he would win either weight class with ease, but 61 kilograms is way more exciting. Everybody knows this name by now. And I believe he's the returning U.S. Open champ from last year, beating Seth Gross and Vito Araujo. We have Jax Forrest, the redshirt freshman, or the transfer high school student freshman who won a national title for Oklahoma State. Seth Gross, national champion 2021, maybe 2019. Wow. Marcus Blaze took fourth at the NCAAs last year. Only had 3 losses this year. He's an absolute beast. Ben Davino, national runner-up and Big Ten champ. Austin DeSanto, another Hawkeye legend. Craziest wrestler of all time. One of them at least. Michael McGee, really good wrestler. Nathan Tomasello, one of the most jacked wrestlers to ever do it. Shocked he's at 61 kilograms. I think and then of course Nick Bouzakis, who should have been at 61 kilograms all year during the NCAAs, but what are you going to do? He was cutting too much weight. So this weight class is stacked. So let's see. If we have the 1 versus 4 right off the bat, this is going to be an NCAA finals rematch. Now, I think Flow Wrestling was saying that Davino's better in freestyle, but I don't see anybody that is not an alumni, like somebody that's not currently wrestling, beating Jax Forrest. Maybe Marcus Blaze because he really is impossible to take down, but so is Davino. I just think Forrest is a little bit too slick for him if they do meet in the semis. I think he'll have it. If Gross versus Blaze wrestle in the semis too, I think Seth Gross has the edge over Marcus Blaze. He's been putting in a lot of work. He's a new dad now too. But he's just nasty. I don't know if anybody's watched Seth Gross, you know how good he is. He is gross for sure. DeSanto's going to have a tough time beating these top 4 guys, but he does have it in him. He does train with Spencer Lee every day. But we'll see what happens. If I had to choose, I don't know if I could count DeSanto out. He's just won a few tournaments. I mean, how did they seed these guys? I mean, didn't DeSanto just win a European tournament like a few months back? I mean, he's a beast. I think he beat Jax Forrest 2 years ago. In 2024, the fall. I think he beat Jax Forrest and Marcus Blaze, but that was at the Worlds. I forget where that was at. Wasn't the US Open, that's for sure, because it was in the fall. Dang, this is tough. Do I think Davino gets his get back on Jax Forrest? I do not think so. I think Jax Forrest is going to continue his run and be the best at 61 kilograms, on top of being the best in the world at 133. 61 kilograms, Jax Forrest versus Marcus Blaze. I said it, folks. I just don't see how Seth DeGrosse is going to take down Marcus Blaze. I don't. I think Marcus Blaze is really mad that he didn't get his goal. He didn't win a Big Ten title. He didn't win the NCAAs. He took 4th. I think Marcus Blaze versus Jax Forrest is going to be an amazing, amazing finals match at the U.S. Open. Moving on to 65 kilograms. Joey McKenna, another guy that never won a national championship, but he was an absolute animal. Vito Arujau bumping up from last year where he looked, no offense, Vito, awful against Jax Forrest. He looked so sucked out and sick, not the Vito Arujau we all know and love. And I love watching Vito Arujau. Aiden Valencia, new national champion as a freshman from Stanford. Jesse Mendez is back. Had a rough loss to Valencia, to Sergio Vega from Oklahoma State. This is going to be Jesse Mendez's tournament to lose. And why do I say that? He was quiet for like 6 weeks after he lost that NCAA finals match, and I don't think anybody's going to put in more work than him and beat him. There is no way. I got my boy Jesse Mendez back in the finals match, and I'm going to find out if there's anybody. Bo Bassett's here, freshman. He's going to be a freshman phenom next year. Brock Hardy, Bo Bartlett. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. Nick Soriano, Handsome Tuesday's back. Wyatt Henson. Holy cow. Nate Desmond's wrestling too. Wow, this is insane. Okay, I have to really think this bracket. Wow, Nate Desmond's the only guy to beat Luke Lodahl this year. Nick Soriano, returning 2-time national champ. Kale Peterson, good wrestler from Iowa. Not really sure who this guy is. No disrespect to these 3. Nick Soriano, Handsome Tuesday, Bo Bartlett, Bo Bassett, Brock Hardy. No, I got to stick with Jesse Mendez. And do I think Vito Arujau goes back on top? I don't think so. I think Cornell's fumbling a lot this year. I'm going to go Jesse Mendez versus Joey McKenna. But that's the semis. Oh, my goodness. This is tough. Who would Bo Bassett wrestle? We got the 1 versus 4. Wow. This is going to be insane because I do think this could be the finals match, these two, because they're both really good. I'm going to say Mendez upsets McKenna in the semis and then takes on Vito Arujau in the finals. And Mendez is going to beat him in good fashion and be like, I'm back, baby. I'm back. I'm going to have Mendez over Arujau in the finals. Although I love Vito, he's been way too inactive the last few years. He was way too sucked out last year at the last year tournament. And he's just not been active. You have to wrestle in order to get better. You got to go to the gym if you want to stay fit. You got to train if you want to get better. I'm sure he's training, but Jesse Mendez has that dog in him, and he's back. 70 kilograms over here. We got Caleb Henson, returning national champ from Virginia Tech. Tyler Kasak took 3rd twice for Penn State at 157 kilograms, 157 pounds. Redshirted this year. We are all super excited to watch him wrestle. But not as exciting as I am for my boy Ridge Lovett to be back. The one that does the best celebrations. Ridge Lovett beat Caleb Henson in the NCAA finals in 2025. He also almost beat PJ Duke. Everybody knows PJ Duke by now. Penn State freshman phenom. By 1 call in the U.S. Open last year. Rich Lovett, I thought, had him, but they gave the call or overturned the call and said it wasn't a takedown with a second left and gave the points to PJ Duke, which is great. But my sleeper pick of the tournament, especially at this weight class, is going to be Ridge Lovett. And I think he's going to be wrestling another sleeper in the finals, Tyler Kasak. Tyler Kasak is back, and I think the training he put in with Penn State is going to show tomorrow. So let me just say, I think the tournament starts tomorrow at 10 a.m., and then the finals will be Friday. But at 70 kilograms, I'm going to go with 70 kilograms. I'm going to go with Tyler Kasak, Penn State versus Ridge Lovett. Coach Cal, you don't know what you're talking about. Ridge Lovett isn't the best at freestyle. Again, he almost beat PJ Duke in freestyle last year, and PJ Duke has said he's better at freestyle. So I don't want to hear it. I do think Alex Pentanel is really good. I do think Caleb Henson's really good. Caleb Henson's very good, but I don't know. Ridge beat him last year too. Jackson Joy's a beast. Cody Chittum. These guys are all great wrestlers. I think I want them all to do well. But if I had to choose two, I'm going to go with the kid that just redshirted the whole year to get better at freestyle, and he goes to Penn State. And I'm going to go at Ridge Lovett, who's been practicing with James Green, Jordan Burroughs, Brock Hardy, all these Nebraska greats. You know, I have to go with Ridge Lovett, and he's just somebody you want to root for. He has that dog in him. Come on, let's go, Ridge. Now, this is the weight class we were all looking forward to, 74 kilograms. Do you know why? Because we finally have David Carr versus Mitchell Messingbrink back. Oh, wait. Mitchell didn't sign up for the U.S. Open. He is going to be a Penn State what if is what the internet is saying. Why did Mitchell Messingbrink not sign up? Does anybody know? Because, like, as a wrestling fan going to watch my favorite wrestlers in the world wrestle, you should be there. And now I know it's your life and you could do whatever you want, and I'm being egoista or selfish, but, like, we want to see David Carr versus Mitchell Messingbrink. Like, could be the Olympic finals. This could be the world finals. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? But with that being said, David Carr is going to have a tough bracket, I feel like, because Quincy Monday's here. He's a beast. Will Lewan's a beast. James Green's a beast as coach. Oh, no, sorry, not as coach. Returning team member. Terrell Barraclaw's a beast. Bryce Antonian has big throws. Joe Seeley, Penn State beast. Joey Bianchi. I went to school with a Joey Bianchi. All right. Besides the top 13. All right. This isn't as tough as it looked. I'm going with Quincy Monday versus David Carr in the finals. Two wrestlers who have two amazing dads. Kenny Monday, the first Olympic champion ever that is an African American, and then David Carr, whose dad, Nate Carr, is a 3-time NCAA champ. I'm going to go with David Carr. He just said that. Mimo, also appreciate you. Seeley is an absolute beast, and everybody sleeps on him. He took second last year at the U.S. Open or the U20s. I can't remember. But Joe Seeley is an absolute beast. I just think after watching Quincy Monday beat Carter Starachi, I have to go with Quincy. I mean, he is such a beast. I'm going to go with Quincy Monday, and I got David Carr winning at 74. But really appreciate you in the chat. It gets quiet sometimes. Really appreciate you. I messed up my first chat at 8:30. I could not find the brackets for the life of me, and I just got home from lacrosse, and I was like, oh, my goodness. Why did I do this to myself? But Joe Seeley, can't forget him right here, people. You cannot forget him. He is an absolute beast. I can't remember off the top of my head right now. Again, teaching elementary school PE all day is a lot of work. All right. 79 kilograms. Chance Marcella, absolute beast. I still can't believe he's the 1 seed after all of these years. Dean Hamity, the one that beat Levi Haynes and a hurt Keegan O'Toole, who is right there, the 4 seed. Who else we got? Evan Wick, who just beat Jason Wolf, which was unbelievable at RAF. RAF does a great job. I know there's a lot of like hate going on with them and all the UFC fighters, but come on. William Hinkle, CT. I might have to give him the CT bias again and get him in the top 3. I just don't know if he beats Chance Marcel or Dean Hamady yet. Patrick Kennedy, great wrestler. Come on, man. You gotta do a little bit more than that double underhook front headlock, my man. Nope is nope, and I kind of agree with you too. I mean, when you're not making the varsity lineup for your team, it's tough for me to root for you to win when there's a guy like David Carr in the weight class and Quincy Monday. But Joe Seeley is an absolute beast. Who would be his first match, though? It was 13 versus the 12? Nico Ruiz, and then 12 versus the 7? Is that how that would work? I'm as a head coach, I will always say, go ask the assistant. I have no clue on that one. All right. Do I think Chance Marsteller has one last good run in him? I do. I'm going to say Chance Marstella versus, let me think. Does Keegan O'Toole beat Chance Marsteller? He's just so big, Chance. Like, I don't know how Keegan would beat him. In freestyle, I really don't know how he would beat him. Evan Wick's a beast too. I mean, he just got that W over Jason Nolf at RAF. Will Hinkle. Oh my God, this is so crazy. Connecticut Beast. I got you going to the semis. I have to. But I think I'm going to go with Chance Marsteller. My goodness. I kind of wish he was the 3. So or the 2. Yeah, no, the 3. So he can wrestle Hamady again while healthy. Wow, this is really tough. But I'm going to go with Chance Marsteller over Dean Hamady. I think this is going to be Chance's last ride, and he's going to go out with a win because you got to remember, he beat Jordan Barrows a few years ago. He's an absolute beast. He puts the work in all the time. He's huge, jacked. I mean, Dean Hamady's a beast too, but he just doesn't have enough. He didn't win an NCAA title, so not many people know about him. But Flo did a great video on him. Like, he's an absolute beast. Dean Hamady, you're an animal too. Not enough freestyle under your belt. Evan Wick, you might be my sleeper in this weight class because you did beat Jason Nolf, and I probably will be putting you in the finals right now instead of Dean Hamady. I'm gonna put Chance over Evan Wick with a really tight match. Okay, I just changed my thought process that whole time. Keegan O'Toole, I think this is his first match back healthy. Can't root for him, unfortunately. And I do love Keegan O'Toole. All right. You think depending on what Hinkle does determine if Mitch goes? I completely agree with you. I'm not sure if you watched some of my other videos in the past, and I believe you always do, Mimo. I got PJ Duke, 57 or 65. Tyler Kasek, 57 or 65. Will Hinkle, 74. Or Mitchell Messenbrink, 74. So they're all going to have to fit somewhere unless they redshirt PJ Duke. But I don't think they're going to do that because Jaden James is not going to sit on the bench for 2 years either, like Connor Mirasola. So it's going to be really tough. Go back and watch one of those videos that I posted a few weeks ago, and you will definitely hear more about it. But you rock, Mimo. I appreciate you. It's going to be tough, though. I mean, Will Hinkle took second last year at U20s. I mean, he's an absolute animal. My coach is with him over the summer at Team Tugman in Connecticut. And when one All-American says that this kid's the best ever, you gotta listen to him. All right, moving on. 86 kilograms. Does Parker Keckheisen get his get back on Kyle Dake? Because I honestly thought that was a 3-point takedown in that RAF match where they kind of called it Kyle Dake's points. I do love watching Kyle Dake, and I think he's one of the best ever. But man, Parker was really attacking him that day. I think it's going to be a rematch for these two in the finals, and I'm sorry if I'm picking the 1 and 2 seeds and not making it as exciting. I haven't really watched too much of Rockaballs just freestyle. I'm not gonna lie to the audience. Mekhi Lewis, absolute beast in college. I don't think it's for him. Marcus Coleman did beat Aaron Brooks, but I have not seen much of him since. But yeah, I'm gonna go Parker versus Kyle Dake. And I think this is going to be the turning point for USA Wrestling. I think Parker's going to get the win. Hot take, maybe my craziest take of this whole match chat. I got Parker winning. Parker winning over Kyle Dake. Now, if you say I'm crazy, that's fine. Some people just call me Jesse. But if you go back and watch the RAF match, which I just did before this, the Parker Keckheisen took down Kyle Dake. I don't know how they gave Dake all those points at the end. And I'm sure Dake doesn't sleep on it, but I'm sure he thinks about it from time to time, knowing there's a guy like Parker Keckheisen. Father fatigue is what David Goggins would say. My other thing is Kyle Dake put my coach in a cradle at wrestling camp when there was like 1,000 wrestlers. So it's always tough for me to root for him. But I don't know, man. Parker Keckheisen was really close to taking him down. I think it's a takedown. Maybe in one of my future videos on my what just happened, where I review some of the worst calls in wrestling. Maybe I'll add that in there. But I think Kaizen is thinking about that a lot. And he's thinking, wow, I was this close to beating Kyle Dake, one of the best ever. And here we are now, running it back at the U.S. Open. I'm going to put the world on notice that I'm here to stay. I think this might be Parker's tour. And then I think it's going to be him versus Zahid, because Zahid doesn't have to wrestle here. Zahid, if you won, I thought if you won last year, you don't need to wrestle here, right? But why is Spencer Lee wrestling? Why isn't Zahid Valencia wrestling? Why? What is going on here? That is who I was thinking about this whole time. Crazy. All right, 92 kilograms. Is this where Penn State starts pulling away some wins? Because right now I got Parker Keckheisen, Chance, David Carr. Who do I have over here? I forget. Rich Lovett, Jesse Mendez, Jax Forrest over Blaze. All right, this might be my first Penn State. This might be my first Penn State winner of the night, and I cannot believe I'm saying this as a Penn State fan. But I got Josh Barr over Aiden Sinclair in the finals. They had some sick freestyle matches a few years ago, but Josh Barr lost to him once, and I don't think he's lost to him ever since. So now my only knock on Aiden Sinclair right now at this weight class is, one, I think Aiden Sinclair is an absolute beast. Don't get me wrong. But he is going up a little bit of weight, and Josh Barr has been comfortable there all year, and Josh Barr is teching people with 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the match. He is so good at wrestling. I love watching Josh Barr. I think he's going to have an easier route to the finals, wrestling Dustin Plott in the semis. And then Aiden Sinclair's going to have a tough match versus returning Big Ten champ Jacob Cardenas from Michigan. He's an absolute beast. Cody Merrill at number 6, the returning national runner-up. And then not too many other crazy big names to me. I mean, all these guys are great, but I'm talking to beat Josh Barr. I don't know. I think it's going to be these two in the finals. And I think Aiden Sinclair is going to do very well against Jacob Cardenas, but I think Jacob Cardenas is going to give him some grit and attitude and make it really tough. But I got Josh Barr bonusing Aiden Sinclair in one of the matches and then making it close in the second match. I got Josh Barr, returning national champ, over Aiden Sinclair from, that shouldn't even say Tiger Style. It should just say Askren Academy. All right. Let's see what Mimu was saying. Must avoid the chest wrap and then good chance for Parker. But like, that's the thing too. Like, Dake doesn't really do his Dake bombs. Like, we had an honor of watching Dake, Taylor, Burroughs, all in their prime in the 2010s. Derringer, James Green, Andrew Howe, all were in the World Team Trials, the U.S. Open together. Like these brackets aren't nearly as tough. At least in my eyes, like Dake was Dake bombing everybody. He doesn't really do it as much anymore. He's 35 now, 36. David Taylor's probably calling him the coach. Zahid is sitting in the Final X already. You're the man. But how come Spencer Lee isn't wrestling in Final X already? That is the only thing I can't remember. If you do know why, Mimu, please let me know. I appreciate you, my man. Always means a lot when there's people in the chat, even if there's 1 or 1,000. Doesn't matter to me. 97 kilograms. I think this is where Iowa really shines. I don't keep up enough with Stephen Buchanan, but they post him a lot on their Instagram and their YouTube. And he is just one of those guys that just has that dog in him. I mean, he's an absolute beast. He's huge. I mean, Hayden Zilmer's a beast too. Jonathan Aiello. The only other real contender I can see is Conor Mirasola. But again, like these are much bigger guys than what 97. This is almost 200 pounds, right? What's 97 times 2.2? Let's see. Take out my calculator. Yeah, it's 213. I mean, Conor Mirasola was trying to wrestle 197. Stephen Buchanan is definitely more than 213, training all year round, and he's looking shredded. I mean, not trying to glaze, but Stephen Buchanan, I think he's got the win over. No, just for the sake of it, I would love to see an Iowa versus Penn State finals. I'm going to go with Buchanan over Mirasola in the finals. And I really do want the Twins to do well. The Mirasola Twins, they're both great. Cole Mirasola beat Drayshawn Ross last year at the U.S. Open, who's the incoming freshman phenom heavyweight. Connor's an absolute beast. He was more talked about their whole career. We all know the storyline. He's sitting behind Josh Barr on the bench. I think this is going to be his time to shine. However, I just think Stephen Buchanan is way too good to be wrestling. I know he's newer to freestyle, but he just trains like an athlete, like a beast. Go watch some of those Iowa videos. Maybe I'm just getting persuaded and biased, and I want Iowa to do well again. But I got Buchanan over Mirasola in the finals, and I think it's going to be a great 2 matches. You're right. So Levi, Zahid, Snyder, and 2 more. But I just don't get why Spencer is not wrestling there. I can't. I think Flow Wrestling mentioned it too, but then somebody followed it up in their account saying, "Why isn't he doing it? Why isn't David Carr doing it?" I just don't understand. It's crazy. Moving on to the last weight class tonight. And again, thank you for staying with me. I know this isn't one of my longer videos, but 20, 25 minutes is a lot after a long, long day of teaching, coaching, training, everything you do. Everything I do, I should say. All right. Mason Paris versus Wyatt Hendrickson. National champ versus national champ. Daniel Kirk-Levitt. I didn't realize Greg had a brother. Oh, wait. Isn't that his real name, Daniel? Daniel Greg Kirk-Levitt? I think so. Trent Hingler. Demetrius Thomas. Anthony Cassiope from Iowa's back. Wow, not at Iowa anymore. Cody Merrill's brother. All right. Not much to talk about here. I think everybody is looking forward to this match. I mean, if there wasn't really a Gable Stevenson, I think Mason Paris would be a 2 or 3 time champ. He's an absolute beast. The year that Gable left, wasn't he runner up for the Hodge Trophy? I mean, Mason Paris is a beast. Wyatt Hendrickson, we all know what he did. He is the one that beat Gable Stevenson. I mean, it's just unbelievable. In front of the president, it was at home for Oklahoma State. David Taylor's just showing the world what he could do with these 1-year wrestlers on his team. But I'm gonna go. Yeah, I love rooting for Wyatt Hendrickson. I'm gonna go with Wyatt over Mason Paris. What do you all think? I got Wyatt over Mason Paris. And I just think Wyatt's a bit younger, more enthusiastic, more excited to wrestle and be out there, represent his country, represent the Air Force. I think Mason Paris is a beast, but he's took some time off the mat. I don't think he's done any RAF, at least to my knowledge. I could be wrong. Again, it's like 9:15 right now. It's a little bit late. But yeah, I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm gonna look up what the schedule is for tomorrow. U.S. Open freestyle wrestling time. Even though I already screenshotted it like 1,000 times. All right, the men's freestyle. Let's go. See, like, why does it keep coming up with the 20? Why is the first thing that come up 2025? It just doesn't make sense to me. Men's freestyle. I have it screenshotted somewhere on my phone. Don't want to be on my phone during the pod, but all right. So Friday, 10 a.m. What about Saturday? Where's the finals at? Let's see. Oh, it doesn't even say on their website. It's all right. We'll figure it out. I'm going to try to live stream during it, but I'm going to have Wyatt over Paris. But just a quick review of my picks. I'm starting at 57 kilograms. I got Spencer Lee, big dogging Luke Lildahl. Spencer Lee over Luke. More exciting weight class of the night. Probably the most exciting weight class. I'm going to have Jax over Marcus Blaze. I love watching Seth Gross, but I think Marcus Blaze is on a revenge tour from the NCAAs. I got Jesse Mendez over Vito, two of the best to do it in college. And Jesse Mendez is another one that says he's better at freestyle. But my sleeper of the tournament, or one of my sleepers of the tournament, will be Nate Desmond. I will not be surprised if he makes the finals. Love Handsome Tuesday. Love Nick Suriano. I think he's been retired a bit too long. 70 kilograms. I got Ridge Lovett over Tyler Kasak. You know, for a Penn State fan, I'm really picking against Penn State. But I just do think Ridge Lovett was so close to beating PJ Duke last year that people are forgetting about it. Go back and watch that match. Tell me how it wasn't a takedown at the end. They just gave it to Duke. Not just gave it to him, but was very close. And I just think Ridge has been training for it. He knows where he is. David Carr over Quincy Monday. Over Monday. Chance over Evan Wick. That's going to be a good match if that happens. Chance. I kind of wish Nolf didn't retire over Wick. And then Parker over Dake. Wow. I know there's so many hot takes here, and I'm not trying to. Barr over Sinclair. Barr over Sinclair. And, of course, Buchanan over Connor Mirasola. But I don't feel like that's a hot take. When Mirasola didn't make the lineup yet. Buchanan's a returning national champ. He's training a nonstop at this weight class. I think that's a safe. Nothing to bash on any of the twins. I think Buchanan over Mirasola is just what to do. Mirasola, and then last but not least, also where's Cole Mirasola? Cole Mirasola's not wrestling. What is going on with some of these Penn State guys? Oh, he's doing U20s, right? I got Wyatt over Mason. Let me check the chat before I leave. That is. Buchanan over Mirasola in the finals. Levi. Did Lee medal last year at Worlds? Wow. I don't think so. Yeah, didn't he fumble last year at Worlds? Yes, I think he did. And then he got pinned at RAF. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's Greg. I appreciate you. I knew that was Greg. I was like, why can't I think of that? I also cannot believe that Greg left Penn State. He must be getting paid a fat bag. But I appreciate you all as always. I love doing my mat chats. I'm hoping to tune in tomorrow. I have teaching all day, then lacrosse at night. At 7 o'clock, we have a game till like 8:30. But once I get home, I'll probably do a mat chat recap. Saturday morning, we have a game. But I'm hoping the finals are before that. So stay tuned on my YouTube. I really appreciate you all. I love doing these mat chats, even if there's 300 or 300 of you in here. I appreciate you all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more mat chat videos, more Get Moving podcasts where I help you try to get moving. And I've been doing a new thing with my soul searching where I do shoe reviews. But if you haven't checked them out yet, I did a short last week on my Kale's cookies. And they're not the best, people. But I still have about 15 left. So if anybody wants some, come down to Connecticut and we can meet. Appreciate all of you. That means a lot to me, Mimu. Thanks a lot, Not a Wrestler. You guys rock. I really appreciate you. I'm really trying my best. I balance a lot of things, and this makes me pumped. 9 to 10:30. Oh, I'm gonna pray I don't have lacrosse. I'll live stream that. I don't care. You guys rock. Appreciate all of you. Really means a lot to me. I'm out. Get moving.